So folks, as it says here, welcome to HAISA 2020, which we are holding in numerous locations around the globe and virtually through the power of the internet. So there we are, technology has come to save us when other things were letting us down. So many of you already, having been to previous into HAISA for the first time, thank you very much for joining us. The focus of the symposium, as the name suggests, is all about the human aspects of security, of cyber security, I suppose, if we give today's modern name. Back when Nathan and I came up with the name for HAISA, it was all information security and assurance, and we thought that spelt something else nice. Cyber security has become the term we use these days. But what we're basically talking about is the aspects of security that relate to us as people. So as it says there in the bullets. So this doesn't exclude discussion of technology within the program. We're going to have various papers and presentations that take a technology perspective, but with people as the focus of it, and recognizing that we are the ones using the technology. As usual with HAISA, and I'll mention them again in a minute, but you'll have seen them on the website, supported by our program committee of international experts in the area of security, and particularly with the human aspects. And so you can see the full cast list of the program committee on the website already. Just to give you a little bit of context as to, well, okay, this is HAISA 2020, but we've done a few of them before, and just for your enjoyment, there's a picture of some past proceedings. That one on the top there, that's a particularly good one because my name came first in the editor list on that one. Nathan and I alternated. I must say to you already, this is a bad year because it's got Nathan's name first. So it's not going to be the more collectible of the proceedings, but yeah, what can you do? You can see there, we've run HAISA in a variety of different locations before we went fully electronic. The first couple of years in Plymouth, and then we started to go properly international. We've dotted around all over the place, and last year we were in Nicosia there in Cyprus. Now, this is where we were meant to be, just to make you feel even worse about it. Here, there, in the picture, that poolside bar, I'd be quite happy to be there, being sociable and things at the moment. And that was the plan, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we were hoping to do. Had the bag packed all the way back in March, ready to go out the door to various places. But something happened and we basically can't be there. So we're here in cyberspace and we're doing it nonetheless. And thank you very much for nonetheless submitting the papers and joining us for it. And I hope it will still be academically a very informative and useful conference. So what have we got as the conference for you? Well, as you may have seen, if you've studied the program intently, we've got 27 papers that were finally accepted and included for your information. All of them were double-blind, peer-reviewed, or meant to have been by at least 2 members of the International Program Committee. In some cases, there were more than 2 reviewers. Some cases we had 3, but at least 2 in all cases. You can see across the set of paper topics that we've got a variety of themes being represented. I've listed a few there. The first session, quite sort of notable in the sense that it's based around papers that are taking the COVID-19 context as part of their theme. So happy smiling face that we've got papers about it, but sad overall that nonetheless it's out there and still causing problems. You saw the previous proceedings on the earlier slide. This year's proceedings will look physically quite different when it finally turns up in printed form. It will look like that thing at the top there in the picture, an IFIP, what's the full name? The IFIP Advances in Information Communication Technology. It's there on the slide. Why can't I read it? Part of that series, and part of the reason and the opportunity for this is this year, for the first time, we've made HAISA an official IFIP Working Group 11.12 event. So Working Group 11.12, you will find out full details of that tomorrow in the opening session when Kerry Lynn talks to you about it. But it's a working group within the International Federation for Information Processing, and it shares its name with HAISA. It's about human aspects of information security and assurance. In all the previous runs of HAISA, HAISA, the workers co-supported the event, but this year we've explicitly made it an official IFIP event, and that gives us the opportunity in the Springer Advances series. So the actual proceedings will end up looking like that. And all of you that have registered as authors and paid your fees, you will get sent a copy after the conference via Christos, okay? So they will be posted out when they're available to you. As usual with HAISA, what we also intend to do is that selected papers from the event, and we will determine them after the conference is finished, will be invited to submit extended versions of the paper to appear in Information and Computer Security. So an example of the cover of that is shown below. So that we've been doing that for several years with HAISA. Now, in terms of the papers and getting them while the physical proceedings doesn't exist, here is a URL, which I'm not sure if Nathan's emailed to everybody. I'm looking to see if he shakes his head or not. Basically, here we are with the URL where you can get access to electronic copies of all the papers as they are currently submitted. They are structured in folders by session, so you'll easily be able to navigate to which paper set you want to look at. And being a security conference, we've imaginatively chosen the password of HAISA 2020. So you can easily get access to all of the papers during the event. If you want papers from the past HAISA events, just for reference, they are still there on our open access site URL shown at the bottom. So I'm playing for time a little bit while you frantically copy down the URL. Obviously, you can remember tinyurl.com, so it's just the Y78QP2SX that you need, and the password HAISA 2020. Okay. So in terms of the program, so today we have got 9 paper presentations, as you'll see in the schedule. So 3 papers per slot, and then a brief break in between each. And then ending the day today, very pleased to say we've got Professor Eugene Spafford coming to speak to us on a topic. Again, you'll see the details of Eugene's talk in the program, and I will introduce that properly at the time. And then the following 2 days, the basic structure is the same as the main part of today. We've got 9 papers per day split into blocks of 3 with brief breaks. So fairly standard structure. Slightly different start and end times to the sessions, but overall, the overall structure is the same. You'll notice in the program, we've got what we've called virtual coffee breaks. During those periods, we'll leave the Zoom chat, the Zoom session open. So if you want to have a chat, you can do. And as I say, we've got an extensive, unlimited range of refreshments for you, depending on what you've got at home or in the office or wherever you happen to be joined. I'm sure we would have provided physically for you had we been in Mytilene, and we will do next year when we hopefully get there in person, face to face, properly. Okay. Okay, some people to thank. Various people have helped to make the event possible, not least of whom is Christos as the local organising chair. So despite the fact we're not in Mytilene, Christos has still had quite a lot to do. You'll have had interactions with Christos when you've registered. You've seen emails from him. He's been handling the registration payments. He'll handle the sending out of the proceedings. So thank you to Christos for doing all of that. Thank you to Kerry Lynn as the chair of Working Group 11.12 for making the arrangements for us to have the conference formally recognised by IFIP and the proceedings published through Springer. Thanks to Furdell as our publicity chair for circulating the call for papers and making sure people were aware of the conference. And of course, thanks to all of the International Programme Committee members, many of you are joining it today, for doing all the work reviewing the papers. And of course, thanks to you all as authors as well. And just in case you thought I'd forgotten him, thanks also to Nathan, who's done a few things in terms of getting the papers together in the current form, doing the website, and other things that he'll doubtless remind me that I forgot to say he did. But Nathan is the co-chair, and he likes to have that reminded to people. Okay, Nathan, nod along if you're happy that I've recognized. Excellent, good. Right. During the event, obviously we're online already, so you might have access to Twitter and you can tweet your thoughts about what's going on. Let people know that HAISA is happening and you're part of it. Obviously, you can follow me as well if you wish to. But the key thing is use that hashtag HAISA 2020 and tweet some things about what's actually happening. Share it with the world. Another, well, I hope you enjoy the event. Thank you again for participation. How are we doing for time? We are dead on time. How about that? To hand over to Nathan for chairing of the first session.